Good afternoon to everybody. This is the first recording for the new year, Tafshin Pei Bet, and it's a great honor that our dear member Elizabeth Dorfman is dedicating this short Dvar Torah. The Ilu Nishmat, also our very, very dear Dr. Dorfman, Zecher Tzadik Livracha. He was, as we all know, a doctor in the full sense of the word, refuat hanefesh and refuat haguf, not only a doctor of the body, but also a doctor of the soul. And it's his first yortzeit. It's very hard to comprehend that. Just a short while ago, he was with us. He was also such a good, great Baal Tefillah. So may his neshama have an aliyah b'gan Eden, and we want to thank Elizabeth for sponsoring the Dvar Torah. So we know that Parshat Vayelech this year happened to be the Parsha of Shabbat Teshuva, and it's interesting that when we say Shabbat Teshuva, Vayelech speaks, of course, about also about Teshuva and about the parting of Moshe Rabbeinu. But what's interesting is when we speak about Shabbat Teshuva, it's not that that there's a coincidence that the day of Shabbat and the theme of Teshuva coincides. We call Shabbat Teshuva the Shabbat that precedes Yom Kippur, in between Rosh Hashanah and between Yom Kippur. So it's not that like a technicality that because Shabbat falls in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and those are days of Tshuva, so we call it Shabbat Tshuva. But it's much, much deeper than that. When we say Shabbat Tshuva, we actually mean that that the Shabbat has got the capacity to bring about a great tshuva. So, or let's put it another way, that one of the great skulot of doing tshuva, a person who wants to do tshuva properly, then a very, very, not easy, but one of the great ways in which to do a tshuva properly is to adhere to Shabbat in a proper way, to keep all the malachot and the shvita of Shabbat. So as again, when we're saying Shabbat Teshuva, it's not this coincidence that Shabbat falls in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. That's why we're calling it Shabbat Teshuva. But we're saying that the Shabbat itself is the instrument. That's the mechanism in which we can do Teshuva. And how's that so? Why is it that of all the mitzvot, that the observance, the keeping, the really merging oneself with the Shabbat, how is that like such a great instrument to bring us closer to doing tshuva? There's an interesting midrash which will help us maybe understand it, with a very interesting explanation of a person, of a Rav Shachor. And the midrash is like this. It says that when Adam met Cain, after Cain did the horrendous deed that he did, and he was speaking to his son, and his son told him that, you know what, he did a little bit of tshuva, and that because of the tshuva, Hashem sort of was able to absolve part of his sin. So Adam was so like staggered that tshuva has got such powers. So he said, "I wish I would have known." And what he did was he broke out in song and saying, "Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat." Now the fact is that Adam did know about the koach of tshuva already before he spoke to Cain, before that incident happened, but he didn't know how far-reaching it was. But how did actually Shabbat bring a message of hope and tshuva to Adam HaRishon? So let's just recount. Adam HaRishon what he did was he was born and he was created, rather on Friday, and late afternoon, what he did was he sinned. So just unbelievable. And a couple of hours then, just a few hours before Shabbat, he experienced, he sinned, he was judged, and he experienced the Kedusha of Shabbat. So now, how did this bring about a turning and a tshuva of Adam HaRishon? He thought to himself like this, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he just created me. After a couple of hours of my creation, I'd already sinned. And Adam thought that, well, if that's the case, that what's Hashem going to do? He'll destroy this world and he'll make a new world. Just like we know that there are many midrashim that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made multiple worlds before he created this world of ours. In fact, always there's these there's discussions about how old the world is. So those midrashim, we speak about the countless worlds that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made before our worlds. That always is brought up as a source that there was an ice age, there was a fire, etc., etc. So to get back to the point, Adam HaRishon thought, well, he sinned, and it was so close after HaKadosh Baruch Hu had made the world. So this is another experiment of Hashem, in inverted commas, that went wrong. And therefore what Hashem was going to do is going to destroy a world and make a new one, just like he did until now. And lo and behold, what happened? So Rav Shachor says that, but Hashem continued with the creation. Adam was created on Friday. And then even after Adam sinned, Hashem proceeded with the world. He brought Kedusha to the world, and what he did was he brought the Kedusha of Shabbat. So then Adam HaRishon understood over here, look, I've sinned, I've erred, I've messed things up. But you know what? Hashem's not destroying the world. Nachon, the world are destroyed, and the world are brought mortality into the world. But you know what? Hashem is not destroying the world and making a new one. He's allowing the world to proceed. And it's up to me, Adam HaRishon, and all those who come after me, in order to do tshuva and to fix up the world and to bring it back to the state that I was in Gan Eden before I did the sin. And therefore Shabbat itself, right, was the catalyst. That was a tremendous empowering of tshuva that Adam HaRishon broke out and said, Moshe Yom HaShabbat, because the mere fact that Hashem gave the Shabbat after the sin, that shows that Hashem was interested in man doing a tshuva. And it's more than that, because Shabbat, is, as we all know, we sing it, Ma'ein Olam Haba. HaKadosh Baruch Hu completed the creation with Menucha, and he gave us a taste of Olam Haba in the form of Shabbat. He gave us a nefesh Torah. He gave us an extra soul. We all know the tremendous, that there's no dichotomy, there's no pulling so much and schism on Shabbat, because we fall much more at rest because of the wholeness of the Neshama Torah. So therefore, when we speak about Shabbat Shuvah, because we're now away from the hustle and bustle of ordinary life, we go into a world of Ma'ein Olam Haba. We go into a world of like much more spirituality. So that helps us then to do tshuva. So how great it is that Mamash, immediately after Rosh Hashanah, we have this Shabbat Shuvah. We have a Shabbat in which the Shabbat itself is able to maromem us, it's able to uplift us, that we should do tshuva, and to remember that Adam HaRishon, he made the cheshbon, he calculated the mere fact that Hashem continued with creation. That means that he wanted this world, and he had confidence that Adam HaRishon and all that come after him will do a tshuva shlema. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat tshuva shlema to everybody. Kol tov.